Have you ever realized that the world has absolutely changed in the past 3 decades? And to these, if anybody could relate, just answer me. Have you ever seen a caterpillar turn into a butterfly? Or have you ever fed a sparrow? Or seen her making her nest? Or ever seen someone like a red velvet rain bug trailing in the nature only in the rainy days? I guess most of the people can relate to this. But if this same question is being asked for the age group to 10, 12 years of children, I believe most of them would be blank. They'll be like, I don't know about this. Though they don't even know how these things exactly look like, especially the velvet rain bug is into an endangered list. This was the childhood that we have experienced merely 3 decades back, 2 decades back, and this is something that I aim to give it back to the coming future generation. So it has to start with me. We can say it to this way, that it's very hard to see how the foundation of sustainable cities and communities, smart cities, and developed nation begins with bulldozing the natural forest and scrapping off the green areas. And this will eventually lead to see our future generation carrying oxygen tanks on their back, along with the school bags. This can be the future, only if we don't think today and act. Merely the crises that we face today and feel it are the poor air quality, fluctuating temperatures, diminishing green areas, loss of biodiversity, and all of this is accumulating to create an imbalance in the nature, destruction of ecosystem that we see today. All of this, the decline in AQI, the extreme weather conditions, we are facing heat waves, schools are shut in many states. My organization, JungleVase, is where we turn the waste into wealth, and the journey begins while I was pursuing my master's in microbiology. And while doing that, I was very keenly observing how these tiny microorganisms interact with the environment around us, and small reactions could lead them to either form a beautiful quadrant colony or decline their existence, or they might even collapse. Imagine the same situations with the nature. Bulldozing, desertification of natural forest is going to create a macro impact. And from here, the journey begins. I aimed to be a scientist. That's why I pursued my PhD as well. I switched from being a scientist to the person who can grow jungles. And it all started from my backyard. The birth of Oxygen Station happened from there in 2019. It all started from the backyard and from the home inside. So I started collecting all the plastic waste that used to get accumulated in my home every single month. The green waste that used to be generated in my kitchen every single day, along with my family, of course, I wasn't the alone one. Segregating the fruit peels from it, analyzing and experimenting with the different plant species from all across the globe, and setting a hat of those plant species that can absorb more amount of carbon. They'll be easy to handle, hardy, yet beautifully, aesthetically beautiful as well. So what happened was, these plastic containers turned into planters. The kitchen waste, the green kitchen waste turned into the compost that act as a nourishment for the soil. The fruit peel got converted into bioenzyme, which act as a biofertilizer for the soil. and of course, main being the plant. Combining all of this together and stretching it all across vertically, horizontally, and overhead all across the concrete porch and the backyard of my garden, I created a small oasis, a green oasis, allowed it to grow and sustain and survive for a period of time of 6 to 9 months. And once it was done, it created a beautiful space, and I could eventually feel a temperature drop of 0.1%, 0.2%. I could see the birds coming in, chirping in the morning and the evening. And the moment I used to sit over there, or anybody who used to come at my place, they would prefer sitting outside my house instead of getting inside. They'll be like, we'll be happy sitting over here. And that calm of peace. So this was the oxygen station that we created in 800 square feet. This is the front. The first image that you see is the front area. And the next image where you see a water body, there's anaerobic respiration happening beneath the ground. So this was all the waste, the kabar that used to come out of my house goes to the backyard of my garden, creating an oxygen station. In 2017, this space used to look like this, where wild horses used to be roaming around here and there. And in 2021, we created it into a complete oxygen station, which was a first initial pilot project for me. Now, even after doing this, there was a single thing that was triggering me back on and on, which was the plastic waste. Now, one best part that happened is that during this pilot project, I was able to monitor the plastic generation happening in my house every single month. And subsiding it, the innovation of using coconut husk instead of these plastic containers started. So we did intensive research. I put in my microbiology into it. And we stabilized how we can use these coconut shells into planters, worked upon different type of soil mixes, because I believe like every human body has a different blood group. Similarly, every plant has a different soil choice. So accordingly, we did it. And over a period of time, we curated the self-sustainable, eco-friendly, biodegradable coconut husk oxygen station that could be used easily instead of those plastic vertical walls that we see all across the globe. And the best part is the USPs of this oxygen station, the coconut husk oxygen stations were the temperature drop from 1.5 degree to 2 degrees Celsius, because once the air flows through these coconut shells were more cooler. I could see a few species of butterflies over there, even some hummingbirds coming over, sparrows over there. And along with this, in future, due to any natural calamities or man-made calamities, if this structure ever get collapsed, it won't contribute anything to the plastic waste. It will go back to the Mother Earth. This is the situation that we create. This is how we did it. And after this, once we got to do all of these things, we started creating oxygen stations for people. After 2 years of intensive research and experimentation, learnings and failures, we were able to curate an oxygen station which was established in 800 square feet of having 450 different plant species, in total 4,000 plants in my backyard. And from this, in the span of a year, we created 100 oxygen stations in Madhya Pradesh. Now this was a starter pack for me to do something bigger. And from there, JungleVase switched from searching square feet to acres of land. And once we started switching from square feet to acre of land, we started doing nature trails, ecotourism sites, agro-tourism sites, urban forest, microforestry, permaculture farming, and sustainable landscape. All of these are like few examples that you see behind. And from this, the main aim and the goal was very simple, was to bring back all of that childhood memories, the calmness, the peace that you have when you work with the greens back to the children of this generation and the coming generation. Engaging the youth of India, engaging people for community building programs, addressing how important environment sustainability is on ground, focusing more on climate action rather than climate advocacy. This was it. Like, we developed many of the areas, and today we cover 62 areas of land under microforestry, sustainable landscape, and farming. And now is it that how you and why you. So any one of you who is a policymaker, maybe an industrialist or businessman or an advocate, anyone who is absolutely exhausted and tired of this toxic air can absolutely champion an oxygen station right at your home, your community gardens, your industry, or your company, or your barren land. And you can start it from there. You can have your own oxygen station. And we basically aim to put these microforests in urban cities and in urban landscape and into the constructions of these smart cities, where destruction and desertifications of natural forests take immense space. And we absolutely believe this part, we are doing this part, that when people can't go to the jungle, we aim to bring the jungle to them. And that's the reason why we say JungleVase. And through this, you could be a JungleVasi and anubhoot, the sensation and the peace and the calmness you happen to have when you work with JungleVase and you make your own oxygen station or an urban forest or your agroforestry sites. This is all the images that we do take while we do the projects, and it's all over India. All of these capacity building programs, engaging with the youth, all of this. Thank you.